Are so cool. I want some.
I've never done this before.
Welcome.
Me? Ladies? Uh, last home meet, can you come back next year, or you're a graduate student?
Yeah, I
And
am
what
a
are your plans?
graduate
And
student.
Olivia, is this going to be your last home meet, or are you still undecided? What can you tell us?
Yeah, I've not decided if I'm coming back for a fifth year yet. I could, but I haven't really thought about it yet. I'm so focused on the end of this year and bringing home the national championship.
Yeah, I am a graduate student, but that's because I graduated early last year. I got my bachelor's in 3 years, and so I ended up starting my MBA a little bit early. I'm very grateful for that. But I am a true senior, and I do have a fifth year. It's still kind of up in the air. I mean, I think that the main priority is this year, like Liv said, and it's just seeing what this team can do, and then we'll focus on the future.
With the mic, Scott, with the
Yeah.
mic. Nah, just kidding. Just kind of in that same vein, what has this year been like for both of you? And to see kind of the pieces evolve, that you guys have both been here, right, where it's kind of been like this. So to kind of have this consistency that you all have had, what has that been like for you and then for you?
Yeah, this has been my favorite year at LSU so far. I mean, every year has just gotten better. And the way that this team gets along with one another is unlike any other team that I've been on, because, you know, every year there's a new group of girls and there's a different dynamic, but this year it's just been a blast.
Yeah, I think the biggest word that comes to mind when I think about this year is casual. Everything we do is just so casual and normal. I mean, we're so talented, and everything that you see on Friday night happens every single day at practice, and even more. And so it's just great to go out there and not treat Friday night like it's this big thing, and just like approach it like every other day and just have fun with my girls.
Yeah, Jay talks about how good you guys are in the gym and then having it translate. I guess what's been the difference this year to making that happen?
I think it's just a newfound confidence. Just seeing what we were able to do last year with what we had and the circumstances we were given, and translating that mindset into this year, as well as with all this new talent, and then the bond that we've created, like Liv said, and just trusting one another and knowing that anyone who goes up there is going to hit. And I think it just built our confidence all fall.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, just the trust that we have in one another, and there's definitely a friendly competition in the gym, just one upping one another in a healthy way, and everyone just trying to do their best, and I think that's what really has helped this team this year.
It's senior night on Friday night. Just like, what kind of emotions do y'all think are gonna be in the air at the PMAC?
I mean, I'm not really, like, yeah, it's a sad thing, but it's more of just exciting. It's like celebrating our time here at LSU and the legacy that we get to leave, and we get to go out there and approach it like every other week and just kick some butt.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I'm just treating it like it is another meet. There's still unfinished business, but we will be celebrating the seniors and the amazing fifth years, sixth years, and the fourth years. So I'm very excited.
Question for both. If y'all were to grade the overall performance at the podium challenge, what would you give that grade?
Ooh, I'd say I'd go B+.
I would say A. I mean,
Yeah?
wasn't that our highest road score?
It was our highest road score, but it's like I was saying earlier, it's very, very casual. And so I would say B+ because I know that we have a lot left in the tank. And it was really, really good, but it wasn't like this massive event where we were trying to go out there and do anything big. It was just our normal, it's not like we like super prepared for this test, you know? And so I just think that there's a lot more left in us.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to give credit where credit's due, and I think that we did amazing.
Yeah.
Liv, we haven't had a chance to talk to you since the season started, but we heard from Coach that you came back in really good physical shape for this season. Talk to me about your preparation this summer and how intentional you were about being the strongest you could enter the year.
Yeah, I mean, my summers are usually pretty hectic, so it's all about finding a balance between, you know, these brand deals that I put off during season that I end up doing during the summer, and staying in shape to be a D1 athlete. I mean, this year I just had a different approach because I treated it like it's my last, and it is. I'm a senior, so I really wanted to make the best of it, and I mean, it really paid off. I've been so happy this year, and I've just had so much fun, and I feel like my approach was definitely different than the years in the past. So yeah, I'm just very happy with where I came back.
Would you say you took it more seriously this year?
I mean, not more seriously. I just definitely didn't know the right balance for me as a person with NIL and, balancing schoolwork and practice. I didn't know the balance in the past, but this year I feel like I had the best grasp on it.
How important was it, or is it, for you to be healthy too? How much of that, and kind of to Pat's point, did you really work on the strengths and the
Yeah.
weights a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely just staying in shape, going into the gym more, fueling my body properly it's been a priority for me.
How important has that been to your performances?
I think it's helped tremendously. I think that definitely contributes to why this has been my best year yet.
I saw, not that I spent a lot of time on social media following you guys, but I did notice there was a funny, I guess, Instagram video or TikTok recently, a few weeks back, where you go in the gym and everyone leaves, and then y'all are dancing around. I mean, what were you trying to? What were you trying? What message were you trying to get out there?
I feel like there's a misconception. The internet, the internet likes to assume things, and I just think that, like I said, this team is so special and our bond is, so we could take jokes. I mean, our team is a funny team, and we just decided to make a funny video, kind of pushing back at the haters.
Yeah.
It's
It was so funny. It's so funny.
It's funny.
It was a production.
We'll start with Liv and then go to Sierra. Could you just talk about what Haley Bryant's meant to this team as a fellow teammate of hers, and kind of the example she set?
Haley is the most humble person probably ever, and she's the best college gymnast to walk the planet. She is insane, and I think what she does every single day in the gym just inspires everyone on the team to do better and to try to rise to her level, and it's just an honor to be able to be in the same class as her and to be able to watch her work ethic every day.
Yeah, talking about Haley is my favorite topic ever. She's like my best friend. She's my roommate. She's been my roommate for all 4 years. And so I've really gotten to see the behind-the-scenes aspect of her success, which has been really inspiring. And it's just great because, like, as she said, everything that you see on Friday night is what happens in the gym every single day. And she's always been a leader from example, and really just shows us the discipline and hard work it takes to be great. And then in the past couple of years, I've really been able to see her grow as a more vocal leader, which has been really exciting.
All right, so as her roommate, what does she not do well?
She likes to hang out in her room, and I want to hang out with her. That's it. That's the only thing. No, she likes her alone time. She takes her downtime, and she recovers as much as she can. And so I'm just trying to get her to expand.
To chill in the living room.
Yeah, chill in the living room, maybe, not in the bedroom. No, she's great. She's like the best roommate ever.
You talked, I don't know if the word was comfy, I don't remember what the word you said was, casual.
Casual.
Was the word. Does she help, her consistency is what marvels me, right? Does her kind of not too high, not too low approach, does that kind of help your casual approach?
Yes, 1,000%. She's not only consistent in her gymnastics, but she's consistent in her approach every single day. Everything that she tells you guys after every meet is how she approaches every single day, and we know that we're going to get the same Haley no matter where we're at, what time of the day, and like how she's feeling. She's going to give us the same Haley every single time, and that just is something that you can count on, and it really creates consistency within your life as well, which has been really nice to experience.
Got 2 more questions for y'all.
Olivia, I don't want to get too much in the weeds with all the deals, endorsement deals and stuff like that, but you've said, previously, that you wanted to, leave a legacy and try to help other, especially female athletes, with with this new era of NIL? You have a foundation, right?
Yeah, the Olivia Fund.
Yeah. Do you feel like this mission accomplished? How has that progressed? And do you think this will be the legacy you want it to be?
Yeah, it's definitely part of the legacy that I want to leave. I mean, a big part of what I want to leave at LSU is that you can have it all, that you could be a student, athlete, entrepreneur, that you could do it all and find success in all areas. And yeah, the Olivia Fund is definitely part of the legacy that I want to leave, and it's progressed so well so far. I mean, I've started with the gymnastics team, just starting there to have a good starting point. A solid starting point is working with my teammates, people I know, people that I trust, and then progressing to other sports eventually.
Sierra, I'm curious. Last year we saw you start off on floor almost every meet. Now it's beam. You're that first person to go, and coach calls you a fire starter in that spot. Talk to me kind of how you've taken on that role and what's your favorite part about it.
I mean, I think that fire starter is a great word. I think that my biggest role on this team is to bring the energy. I'm always kind of the more aggressive end of the team meetings, if that makes sense. But I love being able to be in a position that really just gets the ball rolling and just gets everybody hyped up for the event. I think that it's great to have that energy and to have that happy energy no matter how the routine goes. And I just think that I've been able to, being the lead off on floor, I've really been able to like find that calming energy to where it's not too hype and it's not too exciting, but I've really been able to settle into that, and that's been helpful to transfer over to beam. And so it's been really cool this year to work on my process and to figure that out, to be the best leadoff that I can be, so that we can end up rising and climbing as high as we can go.
Is there anything you say to hype up the team, or you said you're the more aggressive one?
I don't really know. There's a lot of things. Peachy? That's what Connor says, peachy a lot. She likes to say, stay peachy. Oh, yeah, there's not a lot of peachy. Let me think. I don't know. The biggest thing that is like get bossy, like that's been my song like the past couple of years is the song Bossy. And so it's like kind of just be bossy, own it, take it, like take the opportunity because it's yours.
I mean, I agree. You say what you think and you say it loud, and I like it.
Yeah, it was a great road score. It was our best, in my opinion, top to bottom. It was our best performance to date. We'd had meets where we'd had an event or two that landed really well or did something extraordinary, but from a top to bottom four event performance, forget the score, just the performance was, in my opinion, the best executed meet we've had all year, and so that was really reassuring. And we got used to the podium a little bit, got on the podium and felt that, and felt the format again for the 4-team meet, which is a little different. So I think it checked all the boxes for us in terms of what we want this time of year: getting an away score, getting on the podium, being able to perform at a very high level, and then not having to travel and very far, and just being able to sleep in our own beds and all the things in terms of recovery this time of year. Those are important as well. So all in all, just a very, very productive weekend. got exactly out of it what we wanted, what we had hoped.
When you hear Sierra talk about the term casual, right? Like
Yeah.
it's got to make you feel pretty good, right? 'Cause
Yeah, I mean, the word casual to me means a little something different, but I understand the sentiment of what she's trying to say is that they feel comfortable, they feel confident, they feel normal. You know, those are the things that you want to hear from them, and they're demonstrating that. They have demonstrated that over the last 4 or 5 meets in a row. Doesn't mean we've been mistake-free in every instance, but there's a calm confidence in the room when we have our team meetings and everybody gets a chance to say what they want to say. And you ask Sierra what something she says, she has something different every time. There are those that kind of repeat their same thing, but we try to give them all an opportunity to speak before we go out on the floor. And Sierra usually has something that she's thought about. And but in general, the air has been one of, we don't need to say a whole lot. We feel good. They're exuding a lot of confidence right now, and so that's a comfortable, as a coach, that's a comfortable place to be. If you hear a lot of chatter, sometimes that can be a negative because that's a lot of nervous energy.
What's going to be going through your head on Friday, senior night, when those ladies take the floor in their last home meet?
Well, I think it's such a weird spot, you know, especially the last couple of years, but this year in particular, we've got a group of sixth years, a group of fifth years, a group of fourth years, and so it's a little different. You know, I suspect we're saying, you know, farewell to some and maybe not to others, and so it's a mixed bag. I tell our team every year we're going to celebrate our seniors. We're not here to eulogize them or to have a funeral or to, you know, put a whole lot of emotion. We still have business to take care of. We need to go out on the floor and compete at a high level and continue this momentum that we have as we move towards the postseason. But at the same time, you know, every year is different, and you learn as a coach, if you're paying attention to what you're doing, you probably learn more from over the course of 4 years from your athletes than they learn from you in many cases. Like you continue to try and evolve as a coach and get better in terms of how you relate to different people and different personality types. And this group's no different. I have such a great appreciation and great affection for each one of them as people first, and then the contributions that they've all made are not always in a score box, and they're not always questions that you guys want to ask about, but there's so much that behind the scenes that adds to who we are as a team, and each and every one of them has played just a very significant role in our identity and in the chemistry, and in the whatever, you know, legacy this team leaves. You know, they've all been a huge part of that. So I'll just look forward to it. Look forward to celebrating them, getting in front of our fans, let them hear how much they appreciate them, and get out there and have a great meet.
Two things. I'm going to need you to tell me who you know for sure is not coming back. But then the two girls that were here today, they worked very hard during the off season to have the year that they're having.
No doubt.
And to see it be paying off for them, I guess. Is this their best years?
Yeah, I think so in many ways. I think, you know, in Olivia's case, you know, as a freshman, she was an All-American on bars and did a little more even than she's been able to do this year. But in terms of where her every team's different, so you don't ever know. There's not a, you know, the role doesn't stay the same or is guaranteed to grow every year in terms of what's visible. But in her case, she's done the best job, and you heard her say it, of finding that balance, you know, and I don't think it was about desire for her or lack of or anything like that. This was uncharted territory, and this whole NIL phenomenon, of which she was certainly the leading edge of that for all women in collegiate sports, and learning how to balance that. You heard her say it. I think she has a better handle on that and has done a great job, and has been much more just emotionally grounded and stable, and did a great job physically, as you mentioned to her when she was in here preparing for the year. And I think Friday night's a great example. When she's gone in, she's delivered. She went 9.875 on bars Friday night, and she go with that or 9.9 on floor. So she's dependable, and her role has sort of become utilitarian a little bit in terms of going in when we need her to. But how many great basketball teams have a great sixth man, or how many great baseball teams have that utility player that can play multiple positions and go in when they need to, whether it be because of injury or rest or whatever the case may be. So I think she's done an exceptional job of handling and embracing that role. And then Sierra, clearly has had, an amazing year and put herself in a great place mentally and physically all last summer to come back and be able to produce. And for a large part of this season was the first up on both floor and beam. And so just proud of both of them. I think they're, we talk a lot about Haley and we talk a lot about everybody. And I understand all that. That's the nature of the beast. But the two in here today and many others are no less important to our success. And I'm just proud of all of them. That's why we want to get them in here in front of y'all. Who's coming back? I don't really want to speak to that right now. I mean, there's the 6th years obviously are not. Theoretically, Kaya could come back because she had a red shirt that year. She could tack onto that. Alona can come back. Olivia and Sierra and Chase and Elena, everybody, all those guys can. Will they? I don't know, because again, you heard them. My mind's in the same place. Let's finish this year and then let's have those conversations. Of course, Haley is in that class too. So we'll have those conversations at the appropriate time. It just is not something, we've mentioned it on and off, just in our individual meetings, but it's not something I've pressed on or tried to get an answer of before it's appropriate. They need to finish this year, see how their bodies feel, take kind of an internal assessment of what comes next for them, and then we'll discuss it together and arrive at a decision. But it's a little premature for me to be speculating on all that. Any of them that can come back, that want to come back, I want them back. So they're certainly not. I want to make it clear to them that they're welcome here, to finish out and do whatever they want to do, and we'll do everything we can to make it work. And in many cases, scholarships are gone, and so they've got to assess whether they can make it financially viable through NIL or other avenues to whether or not they can, it's worth it.
You didn't mention Cammie Hall. This will be your final?
She's a 6th year,
okay.
So she's out. Yeah, I guess this is it. I don't think she has another year of eligibility.
I'm curious with this meet, you kind of have all the scores you need, more or less, and how do you kind of approach the lineup and your mindset heading into it?
Well, you want to do things that, I think we want to have some opportunity. We could do exhibitions this week because we're not on linear TV, and that's a good thing. So we want to do some things to try and honor the seniors and give them an opportunity to get out there. But also we want to utilize those exhibitions. We want to utilize this lineup. We certainly don't want to just sabotage and blow everything up because it's senior night. But we want to put an effective lineup out there, and at the same time try to give as many seniors as we can an opportunity to showcase themselves on this last opportunity in the PMAC. And some of that might be through exhibition, some of it may be in lineup, but at the same time, we want to get out there and maintain the momentum, if not move it forward as we go into the postseason. So it's kind of multifaceted there. You got to weigh all those variables and come up with your decisions.
Cammie Hall, can she perform? Could she do
Yeah.
something? And Elena Arenas, are we ever going to see her this year? Or probably.
Elena's back has just been something that we never could get resolved, and I don't really have any great detail on that, except that it's been an ongoing thing. She's been battling back issues for many years, and I know it's been frustrating and everything for her, but I think she's kind of at peace with where she's at. And as far as Cammie goes, Cammie is just now gotten to where she's doing a floor routine in the diagonals on the hard floor without a spot, so there's a chance you see her do a floor set. And on vault, she's in the mix. It's just we just haven't been able to find an opportunity to get her out there, and a lot of that's just due to we got a lot of people that haven't vaulted yet. That are and most of them, if they're not getting in there, it centers around whether or not they're as consistent or as others, and so she's landing her vault more consistently now, and there's a good chance you see her do both those events this weekend.
I know you guys have been rambling all season long about Haley and what she's meant to this club, but do you even have any words
No.
at this point?
No, I mean it stands on its own. Her record is ridiculous and amazing, and me trying to describe it is so repetitive and copy paste every time I come in here. It's like it's no, Haley is incredible, and so is Kaya, and so is Aaliyah, and so is KJ, and so is Sierra, and so is Olivia, and so I can go through the whole list all the way through. Haley deservedly gets the press clippings. Haley deserves everything she gets, but it's not my job to promote. And she is, she's promoted herself. She's incredible at every aspect of everything she does, and the person that she is. Mic drop. Enough said. I don't know what else we can say without running the risk of over speaking, and that's my guard. Look, I think the absolute world of every one of these kids on this team, and Haley Bryant obviously is our leader. She has been the most spectacular performer maybe in the history of LSU, certainly one in collegiate gymnastics. There is no way I would take anything away from her, but she would sit here and say the same thing I'm saying now. It's about her teammates too, and it's about everybody that helps put her in the position to be successful. And her record will stand for itself, and history is going to remember her as one of, if not the greatest to ever do it at this level. And there's just not a lot more to add to that. I've said all of that at least 10 or 15 times. I'll continue to say it if you guys keep asking the question, but at some point it becomes kind of a stupid question, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not trying to be critical. I just think at some point it's like, let's find another angle, because there's so much more to this team than one person, and I don't care whether it's Haley or anybody else. This is a team through and through. They are 100% committed to each other. They are 100% invested in one another. They embrace their roles. They appreciate everything about each other, and certainly Haley is at the top she's at the tip of the spear. But she would tell you, just like I am, it's about all of them. Cranky today, aren't I? Yeah. Huh? Can't hear you. Oh yes, yes. Haley's, yeah, she's perfect. Sure.
I'm thinking of Russell Wilson, who's just leaving the Denver Broncos. They said he had an office away from the team locker room. Like not what you want for team culture.
No.
Anyway,
No.
Olivia seems like she wants to be in that team culture, right?
Yeah.
You said last year, and
Mhm.
all her stuff could be a
No,
problem.
it hasn't been.
But just talk to about the team dynamic with her.
It goes along with what I just said when we were discussing Haley and the whole team. Olivia's part of that. Olivia's part of that equation. If she doesn't adopt that attitude of being part of the team, just being one of the team, then we have a problem on our hands. It could go that way with any of them. And that's my point in being as bristly as I am about this, is that it's a real thing. It's not just, we're not up here blowing smoke. It's a real thing for these guys, and they care about each other. And Liv's a great teammate. And all this stuff that has gone on with NIL, it could have infected or destroyed, and maybe it has hurt other teams, in other places. I don't know. But to Liv's credit, to everyone on our team's credit, there's times when it's, the national exposure over it, could be a distraction if you let it. But it really hasn't been. We don't, I say this all the time, kind of tongue in cheek, half joking. We don't call her Livy. That's another person. We don't. It's Olivia or Liv. It's not. I mean, she's when she's in that gym, she's a gymnast. I'm her coach. Her teammates are her teammates. She's a student at LSU. She's all of those things. Everything that social media and the internet, perceives is not part of our day-to-day interactions. And so, and that's really to her credit. She wants to be part of this team and to be successful, and for her teammates to be successful. And I think the character of this team is impeccable and tremendous on a lot of levels. Whether it's talking about Haley and all the accolades, or Liv and all the fame and NIL and all the things, they do a great job of understanding and being respectful and courteous of each other. And I'm proud of them. I'm proud of this whole group, regardless of what happens going forward. This has been a fun group to coach.